What is one fact you know that will make other people respond with, and why the FK do you know that? A corpse can have an erection. It is called angel lust or death erection. Die Hard. Sometimes, when horses are bored, they slap their dick to their underside to masturbate. Same TBH. You slap horse dicks. You don't. Many species of sea cucumbers have evolved to have teeth in their anus, to ward off potential inhabitants. Can they eat through their anus, or is it just for protection purposes? Australian box jellyfish have 64 anuses. Finally, enough holes. It takes 2 to 3 days to cremate a body on a standard bonfire. So you're telling me funeral pyres would have taken days to look after? Most cruise ships are equipped with a morgue to account for any passengers who died during the voyage. I thought they yeet them into the ocean. Captain, what should we do with this body? Size I don't care Johnson. Yeet the son of a bitch off the water slide into the ocean. Very good sir. About 1 girl out of 100.000 will have the vaginal and anal tracts fused together, meaning that they can in fact get pregnant doing anal. Do women know when they have this condition, or is it not very obvious? Usually people can tell if it's bad enough because their vagina will smell bad, or it is sometimes predisposed to recurrent infection. It's called a rectovaginal fistula. It can be surgically corrected. Human shit has a distinct smell that's different from other commonly encountered poops. You ever smell pig shit? Pig shit smells very similar to human shit. I work on a farm and have developed an uncanny ability to identify different types of shit by smell. If only there was a way to use my powers for good. This is something my BO teacher taught me last year. Basically, male barnacles have the longest penis to body ratio and the penis actually extends out of the barnacle and goes searching around for female barnacles to have sex with. Stop calling Danny DeVito a barnacle. You can hang yourself in 3 ways. Rope really short, suffocation, medium length rope, breakneck, really long rope, decapitation. Yep. The British Empire in the 1800s had hangings down to a perfect system. They knew exactly how long to set the rope based off of size and weight of the condemned to achieve the perfect neck break every time. They were also incredibly efficient in the actual process of hanging someone. It took them very little time to do it. All these skills, lost to time. The most babies born to one woman is 69 in the 1700s. Nice. Regarding the Museum of Mummies, Ferdinand I of Naples governed by oppression. He had zero compassion for his defeated enemies, and after falsely promising them amnesty, he had them murdered instead. After their murders, he would have them mummified and added to his museum of mummies dressed in their clothes. If he thought anyone was plotting against him, he'd simply take them on a casual tour of the museum, which was totally morbid, but effective. I too am hyped about Crusader Kings 3. Most birds don't have intermittent reproductive organs, like a penis or vagina, and they share their genes through a hole, called a cloaca, that leads to their inner organs. The act is called a cloacal kiss, and is over super fast. Most duck species, however, do have intermittent organs. The penis is shaped like a corkscrew, and can be 50% or more of the length, if the duck in some species. This is because the vagina is an elaborate maze of twists and turns, creating an evolutionary arms race between the sexes. The longest duck dick award goes to the Argentine lake duck. Though he is a mere 15 inches long, his dangling corkscrew is up to 16 inches erect. Now that's gotta produce some drag. Thank you for that amazing info. I'll add duck dicks to the list of things that make me insecure of my penis size. I mean, I'm kinda cool with it. I'm not sure my so would appreciate me corkscrewing my 3-foot dong into her guts. Vibrators were the 5th domestic electrical device invented. Because doctors were tired of masturbating women for them to relax from hysteria. Ike. Male echidnas have a 4-headed penis. Well duh, how else can knuckles fly? It takes more than 6 standard concrete blocks to hold a human body underwater after death. Is that with or without cutting the gut open? I see you're already learning. The longest recorded piece of poop is 26 feet long. A typical ejaculation consists of 1 calorie. The longest recorded piece of poop is 26 feet long. And how many corics is that? Half a foot. Since frogs have long tongues, they can't use it to push food down their throat like humans do. So when they have food in their mouths, they close their eyes and push the food down their throats with their eyeballs. They also vomit by throwing up their entire stomach, emptying it with their hands, and then swallowing their stomach again. So they swallow their stomach with their eyes at that point. I just threw up. Did you clean your stomach? With your hands? Why is goose geese, but moose is not knees? Well, I'm glad you asked. Goose has Germanic origins, and thus follows the Germanic pluralization in the same manner as foot to feet, tooth to teeth, etc. However, the word moose was incorporated into the English language some 200 years later, and has Native American origins. Yay. Look at all those fucking knees. The human body can literally expel feces out of your mouth instead of your ass. Several terminal illnesses in late stages have fecal vomiting. It boggles my mind that you are not allowed to have a lethal dose of morphine at your own leisure if you find yourself in that horrible state late in life. Ireland's rail gauge is slightly wider than the international standard, yet its tram system uses the international standard. Ah yes, a fellow rail enthusiast. Please stop with the shitty herder rail people, it's not funny. Mammals from house cats to elephants take about the same time to urinate. 21 seconds on average, I seen an elephant pee at the zoo before. It was cold and the ground had a few inches on ice and the elephant pee melted through to the ground. Thank you for my first silver. I appreciate it. When I saw an elephant pee at the zoo, she turned around to make sure people had a good view. It was weird. Siblings, or parents and children, that were separated from one another at birth or a very young age are often extremely sexually attracted to one another if they meet later in life. The phenomenon is called genetic attraction. Didn't think it was weird to know this until I shared with my boyfriend, and he was totally weirded out. Thanks, SVU. Link in description. Well, Star Wars original trilogy makes sense now. And Back to the Future. And Old Boy. The largest walnut grove in the world is located outside the small village of Aslan Bob, in mountainous southern Kyrgyzstan. Local oral legend has it the grove was planted by a migrant wise man nicknamed Aslan the Wanderer. DNA analysis of the trees has confirmed they are not native to the region and the local population came to the area from a related batch of seeds about 1000 years ago. This is my favorite factoid. Thanks. Rubbing alcohol is a great way to get the smell of snid poop out of skin. The slitting of the front of the throat is much more improbable than most people realize, given a bone is actually blocking the spot that most see in movies/TV shows. If, in fact, a movie wanted to be more realistic, they would instead have the sides of the throat slit because of the main artery that sits in that spot. Gotta try this out someday. Thanks for the tips. Erections that last more than 4 hours are considered bad, because the buildup of deoxygenated blood causes the dick to be disfigured, and later cause gangrene. It's called priapism, and it's also extremely painful. In extreme cases, the penis is numbed with a local anesthetic, and blood is removed from the penis with needles and syringes. Don't take head pills if you don't need them. That would be the worst thing ever. You gotta rush into the hospital to get needles in your dick, but also have to show random people your erection, and they know you can't get hard on your own. Talk about traumatizing. If you're having to go to the hospital for priapism, there's a good chance you can get hard on your own. People take head pills recreationally. Right, so they can intimidate their opponents on the basketball court. When the Pilgrims first landed in America, they found these weird dirt mounds in a field, so they dug them up and discovered they were Native American graves. Oops, they returned everything, but then came back later to take the cooking pots and utensils that had been buried with the corpses. They apparently packed really light on the way over and didn't bring basic household essentials, which would be really useful in, oh I don't know, starting a fucking colony. Boston is roughly on the same latitude as Barcelona. The Pilgrims thought they were getting a Mediterranean climate, not a freezing winter. Don't buy a rabbit already skinned and gutted. Could well be cat. They look really similar. If it's already skinned, you need to see the kidneys to tell. They're installed in a different config. Second, Don't make risky meat purchases from a Sunday market trailer in a shady part of town. You can definitely tell by the teeth. Pro tip. Always get ones with the head still attached. Butterflies taste with their hind feet. Imagine walking around New York City like that.